Donald Trump will become the 47th President of the United States.
On the morning of November 6th, 2024, America made its voice heard. In some spaces, there were booming cheers and frantic celebrations, while in others, there were stifled cries and unending conversations about why and how America had chosen its president. The state of democracy was one of the most critical factors in who Americans voted for in this past presidential election, with 34% stating it was their top issue in exit polls. Therefore, to understand the youth perspective on democracy and its future in our country, I spoke with 3 student leaders in our school. Amani Arunga, the class of 2026 president, Janie Blumenthal, an officer of Next Gen Voices, and May Bunton, a member of the Student Faculty Association.
I think that right now the US is in a very precarious place because we could go in a lot of different directions. We see a lot of mob psychology, we see a lot of outside influences influencing the way that people think, and I think that we have to be very careful with how we proceed.
I kind of don't envision the state of democracy improving too much within the next 4 years. I think the values on which democracy was kind of built upon are slowly eroding, and I think we've seen that in the past, and we continue to see it right now.
I'm very privileged to live in an area where I may not be affected by some of the changes that are to come, but I do expect some limitations on the voices of minorities and other ethnic groups that have been historically marginalized.
Aligned with these student concerns, the U.S. democracy is facing critical threats. A recent Supreme Court decision granted the president absolute immunity from certain criminal prosecution, and 21 states have recently enacted restrictive anti-protest laws. But democracy is affected by far more than just legislation. Students sense that behavioral shifts among citizens, and specifically youth, pose another great challenge.
I love social media and I use it a lot, but we need to be mindful that it is very much influenced and it can very easily influence other people. And when people begin to be influenced too much by social media and let their ideas and thoughts be influenced too much by social media, that can be very dangerous. That's when we kind of start to lose the integrity of our democracy and the integrity of our individual vote.
Living in Newton, some students feel fortunate to experience certain freedoms that people in other areas of the country may not.
So it's while I'm in a position in a safe state that I can speak freely about different issues, there are other places and other communities where people and kids honestly can't. So I feel super lucky and privileged to be in that sort of situation, but I feel like I have to use my voice for those people that don't have the opportunity to use theirs.
This doesn't simply just come down to, oh, policy and oh, the economy. People's personal lives and well-beings are on the line.
I identify as queer, and I'm a woman, and I'm also Jewish. So those are 3 different aspects of my identity that are really going to be affected by this election. Right. So I obviously have my own fears and concerns and just strong emotions about what has happened.
For many students, the election evoked a heavy sense of uncertainty. However, May, Amani, and Janie are looking toward the future with cautious optimism.
So I think it's important to acknowledge that there are a lot of different perspectives within the school. Yeah. But I'd say to those who are feeling scared or angry or sad, all of those feelings are valid, and I think a lot of people are feeling them. I hope to channel those emotions into something that we can put back into the world to kind of make the change that we want to see.
The president doesn't hold out all of the power. That's one of the beautiful things about America. We still have power and we still have a voice that we can use if we just learn how to use it and aren't afraid to use it.
For the update, this is William Yawns.